Most of them should be working. Your parents' friends, okay? Your friends' parents, and your friends. Like, just start there, and then you'll have 125 before you know it. We're going to talk about random people in airports and planes and trains and Ubers in just a second. But your neighbors, right? You're going to go to a lot of parties, right? Over the holidays. Your cousins. Cousin's boyfriend's uncle's aunt works at Mercer in downtown Chicago. I need to know that person. Will you introduce me? It's not hard, right? And y'all going to say yes. Most people want to help people. We're going to be in some bars over Christmas. You're lying to yourself if you say you're not, right? You will meet people in bars, right? Coaches, former bosses, and then at least here, your teammates and your roommates. Come on, guys. You could do 250. Using all of those resources. Okay? I'm also going to share with you, for coming today, a list of every employer who has hired an MSM or an MSBA student over the last 3 years. Would that be helpful?
Yes.
It's even, my good friend Ayana over here, even sorted it by industry. We cannot give you their names. We cannot give you their salaries, their stuff we cannot give you. But I can tell you, let's look at it. I can show you. I pulled it up over here. And so, if I gave you this list and I said, look at this list. This is a great list. This is stuff we get so excited about. Look at this. So what you're seeing here, I gotta put my glasses on. These are the top 10 employers for MSM and MSBA over the last 3 years. You can see the year, right? Deloitte has hired 11, right, in the last 3 years. These are what we call premier accounts, key accounts. These firms are committed to hiring Wake Forest talent. And it just goes on and on and on and on.
But I think it's important to know that when you see all the ones, all those ones together are more than the top 10.
Right.
So each individual small company that they're like, I think that's huge.
Right. So to add to that point, it was like we're kind of going to sidebar. Is like when Sharon mentioned like middle market, like for MSM specifically, like that's where y'all thrive. Like there's a couple people that will go to those big boys, but then everyone else will fall in the middle market, right? Which can be the one-offs and not bad. And some are like larger, right? And some are like United, right? We have different, yes, probably might be at Delta. We have again, some of the bigger spots, but also small spots you've never heard, like Corn Ferry. Who's heard of Corn Ferry?
What's that?
Right.
Brady Corporation.
So
What's the total?
Corn Ferry is HR rotational.
Right.
So we had a student that landed there 2 years ago. So again, it's just understanding it's got to be bigger than just what you hear about around. And that's where, especially for MSB as well, that's where we're going to sit. And that's where that spike happened. That April spike.
All these ones probably were in April. Okay?
Or May, June.
So parting gift number 2 is this report. Right? Ayana even went and sorted it by industry, which I think is also really important. And so if you say, I only want to be in food and beverage, there's a whole General Mills and McCormick.
Yeah.
Do you have a question, Rich?
Yeah, is there a way to like filter them by like programming?
We can.
Yeah.
This report doesn't do it, but we have it.
Yeah.
We have it by brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it. Right, so this is information that we pulled from a system called Microsoft Power BI. You might have heard about that before. So those surveys that we beg y'all to do every time you turn around, we're like, please do another survey for us. We're pulling that survey data, and this is how we get this information. So as soon as you guys land a job, we need for you to do the survey. Okay, we'll send you one.
Okay.
All right. Network. Now, if I gave you that list of those employers, where are you going to go to try and find somebody who works there? Okay, you can go there. Where else are you going to go? You can figure it out. Right? Right? You got some good stuff already. 5 minutes. You've already found some good nuggets of things. All right, so here's our top 10 things that you can do over break to forward your job search. And in the spring. You can think of this as your spring strategy as well. Put time on your calendar and dedicate it to your job search. Protect it, okay? So if you put an hour from 8:30 to 9:30, every morning you get in here, you have your coffee, that's your 1 hour before classes start, and nobody can schedule a meeting with your ALP, nobody can schedule a meeting, with your career coach, none of that can happen from 8:30 to 9:30 every day. You will find an enormous amount of momentum if you can do that. And then until spring break, I like 2 jobs every day. Right? If you can find 2 jobs every day to apply for, when we get after spring break, it's 5. 5 every day. 25 a week. You'll get a job. Yep. So design your own marketing campaign. You are now the chief marketing officer of your own job search. Okay? So use all the things that you're learning in your marketing class to put together an amazing marketing campaign of yourself. Spray and pray might be your strategy, right? Slow and steady wins the race may be your strategy, but you need to have your own marketing campaign. It needs to be consistent, the message needs to be clear. Think about Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, LinkedIn. All of those things are part of your brand. You need to keep that in mind as you're getting yourself out there. Pick 1 or 2 accountability partners. Okay, I'm a great accountability partner. Okay, so if you're like, Sharon, I need you to keep me honest. I need to have a meeting with you once a week. I'm going to tell you what my goals are, and then I'll ask you. Like, I'll stop you in the hall and be like, did you do it? Did you get that email out to that person? You said you're going to do it. Did you do it? Like, I'm a wicked stalker. Like, I was stalking. Okay? Your teammates, your coaches, I would say a faculty member, one of our ER colleagues, anybody's happy to be your accountability partner. Do 3 rounds of practice interviews with 3 different coaches. We already talked about that. Use our job search action plan. Live in LinkedIn. It needs to be, when you pull up your computer every morning, it needs to be on your favorite URLs that automatically come up every day. I can even show you how to do that if you need my help. Okay? Make meaningful connections with faculty and staff. Reward yourself with some small victories. So if you did hit that 125 LinkedIn connections mark, then treat yourself to an ice cream sundae at McDonald's.
Or Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. When I was in sales, I had to do 10 cold calls a day, like out on the street, like ding dong, hi, my name's Sharon, do you want to buy staffing services? You don't know me. 10 a day I had to do. As soon as I did the 10th one, I bought myself a Diet Coke. Right? It was just one little thing, right? And I was moving real fast with that Diet Coke. I needed it at 3 o'clock every afternoon. So reward yourself with small victories. And then my favorite tip, before you go to bed, at the end of every day, before you close the computer down, before you say goodnight or go off to do whatever fun things you do after your work is done, do one more thing. Can I send one more email? Can I apply for one more job? Right? Can I ask Sharon one more question? Whatever it is, just do one more thing. Now I'm going to turn it over to my friend Marcus, and he's going to get you even more excited about your job search. Thanks for your attention. Have a great afternoon.
Coming to close.
Oh my God, Papa, Dad, what are we gonna do?
Yes. How's everyone feeling? Okay, so here's the moment of truth, right? So just using your hand, if you're feeling super excited for the job search, high, all the way down the scale to I'm freaking out right now. Where are you all at? In the middle? Not what? Stephanie just said I'm not freaking out. Okay, so we see a range. So I want to encourage you all that Sharon made a statement that I did not really identify with when I first got here, but I do believe it now. You all will get jobs. And it's seldom that you hear career coaches say that. Like if you go to other spaces, other places, typically like you'll never hear a coach say, you will get a job. But we say that here because we believe if you follow the process, you'll be fine. And so I have a couple quick tips just to share with you all that I do believe layered with what Sharon shared is really going to help you all kind of take it over to the space of success. The first step is trust the process. That is easier said than done, but I want to encourage you all, as you saw in the graph, If you trust the process and put the work in, you'll be fine. How many of you all are hoping to get a job? Just show of hands.
Hi, if you want
Like
to get a
hi.
job.
Okay.
That's
I have to ask because sometimes folk are like, I'm just here for the pizza. And if that's you, I respect your decision to be here. Thank you for coming because you have a lot of pizza here. But for everyone else, if you believe I want a job and you trust the process, you'll be fine. The second piece is jump in. So you actually have to put in the work. So everyone's hand that went up, I want a job. Cool story, bro, prove it. So what are you going to do to actually make that your reality? So if you're saying, Marcus, I want a job. Cool. How many jobs have you applied to? Well, you know.
None.
How many, who have you networked with? Well, you know, network, what's networking? All right, are you on LinkedIn? What's LinkedIn? Like if you're saying that, then we're in a place where you don't really want a job, you want the idea of a job. And I think that happens. It's like, I want to make money, ball out, I'm in grad school, I'm trying to go buy the mall, travel. How many of you all hope to do some of those things? Eventually, yes? Y'all look at me like, Hopefully, so I'll say
I want
this.
to buy stuff.
For me, thank you, like, I don't know about y'all, but I didn't go to grad school to be broke. Like, I'll just keep it 100, right? I went to grad school, did the whole thing. Y'all do it in 10 months. It took me 24 months. I was 10 months in, I was like, why? But I had a vision and expectation of when I finished my program, I wanted a job. Now, granted, I actually did not have a job when I graduated. And if you're on LinkedIn right now and you're a friend with me on LinkedIn or an associate with me on LinkedIn, you would know that I put a post up last night that said Michigan State University is #1 in education, #3 in the nation for my graduating program. So I graduated from the 3rd best program in the nation and didn't have a job. But I trusted the process, and the experience I gained during my time allowed me to build my own job. My first job, built it. And so for you all, as you're navigating, you really want to make sure you're jumping in. If I didn't jump in and do the work, I wouldn't be able to do that. You are in a space where you can. Third, focus. Some of y'all are struggling focusing here. Y'all like, I got a lot to do today. Sharon's still talking? Mark's is getting up? Oh no, so from that perspective, I need you all to focus. When you have these spaces, take time, take notes, like listen. One thing I tell my students is never leave a space not better off than when you walked in it. So make sure you're focused. 4th piece, be open. Be open to opportunity. I love what Sharon said. Every time you say only, you're only limiting your job options. And that's okay. But being open means being open to opportunities, being open to locations, being open to awkwardness, being open to uncomfort. I don't know about y'all, but I don't really like networking. That's not my jam. I will do it. Sharon likes networking. She loves it. Like, what y'all saw is Sharon in her element. And y'all saw the energy. She was like, look, let's search. Like, that's her thing. I'm like, all right, here we go. We got a network. How you doing? You turn it on. But you have to be open to those spaces. I want to encourage you all. Sharon gave you a number. What's the number of contacts you need over break? Okay, I like that. 100, 25 at the bottom, 100 at the top, right? That does not sound fun to probably 95% of you. There's always one person that's like, I can do that. Yeah. But for everyone else, you're like, I don't know, 25 a little steep. How about 15, Sharon? I can see I tried, right? Like, be open to that uncomfort and also be open to no's. If you're afraid for a no, you're going to limit your potential yeses. And so allow yourself to be in spaces where no could be an option, but not the only option. 5, shoot your shot. What does that mean?
Take a chance.
Take a chance. What does shoot your shot mean?
I don't know, go for it.
Go for it. What shoot your shot mean? Set the bar high. What shoot your shot mean? Shit. The person does this. It's always that person. Yes. Seamus.
Just basically like branch out, like broaden your horizon, and just, I guess really
Be open. Yes. What does shoot your shot mean? You know it is you. Yes.
What was the question?
What does when you hear like shoot your shot, right? Like have you ever seen play basketball? Shoot your shot. In the job search, what might shoot your shot mean?
So find an opportunity, know what you want.
There it is, yes. Go for it. Hey, one word, try. Or apply, also an option, right? I don't know too many people that for their first job, they didn't hit the application button. Hit the apply button. Old school would like write the paper and turn it in. But you actually have to try. So I would encourage you all to shoot your shot and actually put forth the effort. 6, almost done, know your worth. You all came into a program, whether it's MSM or MSBA, to be better than when you walked in. So know your value. And it's not just what you're doing in class, but also the experience you bring. You would not have gotten into Wake Forest University if you didn't have good talent, if you didn't have a strong background. Promise. There were plenty of other people that wanted your seat. So now that you're here, know your value. That allows you to negotiate, but it also allows you to apply for jobs that 5 months ago you might have been qualified for. Know your value, take a risk. And lastly, my favorite word, right? It was my word of 2018. You gotta have grit. You gotta have hustle. You gotta have grind. This job search thing is hard. What? 2019? No, I said it was last year. This year's a different word. Yeah.
What's your word this year, Marcus?
Elevate. Yeah. I'll have a whole different, elevate's my word for the year. I'll explain why. Because last year was all about grinding, this year's all about elevation. And so I would encourage you all, I'll speak to elevate in a second, I guess. Grit, get it done. Job search is hard. Like if it was easy, you'd have done it already and had a job. Right? It's not easy to do it. But I would argue if you put the work in, the investment on the back end is worth it. And so have the grit. Employers even ask, what does grit mean to you? When I applied to this job, they asked me, what does grit mean to you? And so for me, it's about tenacity, it's about hustle, it's about grind, and those traits, when the employer sees them in you, makes them want to hire you. When I know I can give this person a hard task and they make it happen effortlessly, that's the kind of person they want. Elevation is my word of the year, and this is why, and I'll close with this. It's all about being better tomorrow than you were the day before. So I'm in this space personally, and I would encourage you all to be in the space of elevation. You all are about to go into a brand new year, 2020, right? So it's going to be an exciting year. You're going to have a new job. You're going to have a new space. Honestly, almost a new life. I was giving some advice to a mentee not too long ago, and I was telling them about reinventing yourself. And for me, for those who were not there yesterday, you may not know that I'm expecting, so me and my wife are having a kid. Super exciting. And so I'm in it. Thank you. Yeah, little girl, crazy, right? Pray for me, y'all. But in that space, I'm reinventing myself, and to do that, I have to elevate. I would encourage you all to take this time, the next, 5-6 months of your MSM, MSBA experience, to give yourself the space to reinvent yourself. Think about who you aspire to be when you hit the stage in May, and then elevate to that occasion. And if you can do that, this is all be worth it. So with that being said, y'all, I'm done. Sharon's done. If you have questions, we're open.
Fantastic. Yeah, we'll be here for a few minutes.
But thank you for the slow clap. I appreciate that. There's also pizza. Please eat the pizza, take the boxes.